Toyota's new plan has electric vehicle advocates rolling their eyes because the new plan forward for Toyota is all about battery electric vehicles, and no kidding, this is Toyota's new electric vehicle plan. Welcome back, dear friends. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com. If you are here first time, please subscribe to our channel for daily electric vehicle news and like this video, share in social media. We would greatly appreciate that. John Gorham has the details from Torque News saying Toyota learned the meaning of uncontrollable factors in business this week. John says the results of that lesson is that Toyota is now announcing again its commitment to electrified vehicles, and yes, battery electric vehicles, BEV, are a big part of the newest announcement. So what are those uncontrollable factors? In business, John says, and particularly marketing, uncontrollable factors are business environment changes that a company cannot stand in the way of our change to its liking. The marketing of dummies, class example of uncontrollable factors, is often a buggy whip. When horseless carriages emerged in the early part of the 20th century, the folks who made the whips to hit horses pulling carts saw a drastic decline in business. The shift away from internal combustion to a battery electric vehicles is a perfect modern example. Toyota's hybrids are the next buggy whips. Or remember moving from Kodak type of cameras to cell phone cameras. Now, being greenest no longer counts these days. Although Toyota has the most green vehicle models and sales in the most vehicle segments, in all of the markets in which it chooses to dominate, it's not enough anymore. Policymakers are moving toward battery electric vehicles, and the automakers will follow. Lawmakers, a meaningful number of whom live in cities and don't drive themselves anywhere, don't have an emotional attachment to private transportation, and their advisors, counting the heads of the vocal populace they represent, understand that it's battery electric vehicle or bust going forward with public policy. Toyota's statement says a lot. So what is this? Toyota announced today, here's what it announced, quote, "For over 30 years, Toyota has been innovating and investing in technology to reduce vehicle emissions and achieve carbon reductions," said Chris Reynolds, Chief Administrative Officer, Toyota Motor North America. He continued saying, "And although some people believe concentrating resources on one possible solution will achieve the goal more quickly, we believe investing in many different solutions will actually be a faster way to achieve carbon neutrality around the world." We highlighted some people. What the statement means is, we understand, that's a quote, we understand that battery electric vehicles are the wrong technology for many reasons, but we have no choice but to get on the path to a technology we don't support because our lobbyists have informed us that the US government is going to incentivize battery electric vehicles and eventually outlaw ICE vehicles. Again, the second quote is our words in case that was unclear. Wow. Have you heard that one about hydrogen-powered electric vehicles? Toyota could not resist including hydrogen-powered fuel cell electric vehicles, FCEV, in its announcement. Those battery electric vehicle advocates who rolled their eyes at the announcement, who also read the details, can now smack their foreheads. FCEVs, hydrogen-powered fuel cell electric vehicles, are the electric vehicles that even pro-EV people don't want. Toyota's shift in thinking is still evolving. Give the company some time to explain why its billion-dollar bet on hydrogen isn't going to work. So what's the Toyota's plans? Here is what Toyota laid out as its plan and timeline. First, Battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles will make up to 15% of US sales by 2030. Second, electrified vehicles, including battery electric vehicles, will make up to 70% of US sales by 2030. Third, global sales of approximately 8 million electrified vehicles by 2030, of which 2 million will be battery electric vehicles and FCEVs by 2030. So what does this mean for top sellers like the RAV4 Hybrid and RAV4 Prime? Enjoy the short twilight of plug-in hybrids with 600-mile ranges and 40 miles per gallon and 50 miles per gallon gas-electric hybrids without plugs. This rider, John, suspects strongly that the taxpayer-funded price supports that nearly all car makers and buyers will soon rely upon won't include PHEV, plug-in hybrid electric vehicles like the RAV4 Prime, and already doesn't include 40 miles per gallon crossovers like the RAV4 Hybrid. Toyota will continue to trickle them forth since they are already designed and selling well today. There won't be many more, if any, coming. So Toyota's battery electric vehicle past and its FCEV present. Toyota tried battery electric vehicles before the modern wave we think of today. How long ago was it? The song Candle in the Wind was the top hit of that year. Sort of appropriate. A handful of Toyota's first generation and later second generation battery electric vehicles are still on the road. There are Facebook clubs you can join to interact with owners of first and second generation RAV4 battery electric crossovers. Toyota also presently sells its second generation Mirai fuel cell electric vehicle in limited markets to the tiny handful of people that live near any place to fuel it. Now, what about emission-free semi-tractors? The tractors that pull 18-wheelers are so polluting you can see and smell the pollution coming from them. You can also hear them from more than a mile away as they brake or accelerate. Toyota has zero-emission semi-tractors at work in California in a small pilot program right now. Toyota's new announcement makes no mention of the zero-emission semi-tractors it has been working on. Projects like that can make a meaningful difference in our environment, but there is no advocacy group demanding them, so expect the project to stall in the coming decade. Those resources are needed elsewhere now. Toyota looks back at its impact on the environment. Toyota likes to remind people that it has been making vehicles that have a positive impact on the environment for 30 years. Toyota says that it's no longer loved HEVs, plug-in hybrid EVs, and FCEVs have saved 139 million tons of greenhouse gas emissions worldwide, 70 million tons alone in the United States. The accomplishment is unmatched by the large full-line automakers combined. Nobody cares because Tesla's next car will cost only $5,000, they say. So what do you think, friends, about Toyota's new EV program? EV plan. It's major plan and it has three main points. Here is what Toyota laid out as its plan and timeline. So let's take a look at that very carefully. First, battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles will make up to 15% of US sales by 2030. Second, electrified vehicles, including battery electric vehicles, will make up to 70% of US sales by 2030. And third, global sales of approximately 8 million electrified vehicles by 2030, of which 2 million will be battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. So basically by 2030, Toyota will sell 2 million battery electric vehicles and fuel cell electric vehicles. Considering fuel cell electric vehicles are not a big part of it, maybe majority will be battery electric vehicles. Maybe it's safe to say that by 2030, Toyota may sell at least 1.5 million battery electric vehicles alone. This is going to be a serious competition to Tesla. Toyota is kind of behind there, some people say, but Toyota is shifting its entire resources toward this according to this new plan. So what are your thoughts on Toyota's new electrified plans and in Toyota's new plans in general? Let's continue the discussions in the comment section below, please. This is Armen Harayan from TorqueNews.com. Have a great day, and I'll see you soon in our next report.